Day and thank you for standing by. Welcome to the J&T Global Express first half 2025 earnings conference call. At this time, all participants are in a listen-only mode. After the speaker's presentation, there will be a question and answer session. To ask a question during the session, you will need to press star 11 on your telephone. You will then hear an automated message advising your hand is raised. To withdraw your question, press star 11 again. Please be advised that today's conference is being recorded. I would now like to hand the conference over to your speaker today, Haibin Chen, Director of Strategic Investment and Capital Markets. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Operator. Hello, everyone, and welcome to J&T Express first half 2025 earnings conference call. I'm Haibin Chen, Director of Strategic Investment and Capital Markets. The company's results and investor relations presentation were released earlier today and are now available on the company's IR website at ir.jtexpress.com. Before we start the call, we would like to remind you that the call may include forward-looking statements which are underlined by a number of risks and uncertainties and may not be realized in the future for various reasons. Information about general market conditions is coming from a variety of resources outside of J&T. This presentation also contains some unaudited non-IFRS financial measures that should be considered in addition to, but not as a substitute for, the company's financials prepared in accordance with IFRS. I have with me J&T's Executive President Stephen Fan, Vice President Charles Ho, and CFO Dylan Tai. Our management will share strategies, operating highlights, and financial performance for first half 2025. This will be followed by a Q&A session. With that, let me turn the call over to Stephen. Stephen will read through his prepared remarks in Chinese before I translate it for him in English.
OK， 各位好，欢迎各位参加极度速递2025年中期业绩发布会。我谨代表公司衷心感谢大家长期以来的关注和支持，并非常荣幸地向大家汇报本集团在今年上半年的经营与财务表现。回顾刚刚过去的6个月，全球宏观经济环境已然复杂多变，地缘冲突持续，国际贸易政策存在不确定性，多变的关税政策也为各国经济发展带来挑战。然而，面对诸多外部变量的影响，我们依然凭借清晰的战略定位、高效的运营执行和持续的网络建设，在东南亚和新市场实现了规模和盈利的显著提升，也在面对中国市场激烈的竞争中展现出韧性。2025年上半年，机流量达 139.9 亿件，同比增长 27%， 收入55亿美金，同比增长 13%， 经调整净利润 1.6 亿美金，同比增长 147%。 接下来我将分板块介绍各区域业务发展的情况。首先是东南亚市场。2025年上半年，我们在东南亚的业务量达 32.3 亿件，同比增长 58%， 市场份额达 32.8%， 同比提升 5.4 个百分点，连续6年稳居行业第一，并逐步拉开与其他竞争对手的差距，持续巩固龙头地位。我们的强劲增长主要来源于中国降本经验持续赋能东南亚。我们在东南亚单票成本同比下降 16.7%， 同时服务质量不断提高。比如包裹的平均投递时间进一步下降，目前我们在东南亚的平均投递时间低于2天，遗失和破损率也在持续优化。我们与客户共享我们降本的成果，维持合理的利润水平，进一步加深了我们与客户之间的合作和互信，促进业务量的增长。这一策略充分体现了规模效应与运营深化带来的良性循环。展望未来，我们将聚焦2大核心战略。第一，持续降本。中国的降本方式持续迭代，我们将通过进一步的学习中国自动化、数字化管理水平和经验， 持续推动东南亚成本的下降。第二，大力发展非电商平台业务，包括社交电商上的中小卖家、品牌商、连锁零售商以及个人散客，这些客户利润率相对较高，可以进一步优化我们的客户结构，提升盈利水平。接下来是中国市场。2025年上半年，我们在中国的业务量达106亿件，同比增长20%，市场份额同比提升0.1个百分点至11.1%。今年自二季度以来，中国快递市场价格竞争异常激烈，行业价格持续下降。我们根据各区域市场竞争情况动态调整价格，以维持市场份额的相对稳定。上半年我们单票价格同比下滑3毛人民币左右，但我们的单票成本同比下降2毛多，其中单票运输成本和分拣成本同比下降约1毛3人民币。叠加有效的费用管理，单标费用同比下降约4分，部分抵消了价格下滑带来的不利影响。从经营结果来看，面对严峻的外部环境，中国市场持续盈利，展现出较强的经营韧性。在稳定基本盘的同时，我们积极拓展高价值的散单和逆向件业务。目前散单和逆向件业务日均达400万单，同比增长60%，占总业务量的比例提升至7%。为促进散单和逆向件业务的发展，我们实施了一系列措施，比如鼓励加盟商布局主控驿站，增强末端服务的可控性和客户触达能力。通过优化派送线路，提升直分直送比例，使得业务员有更多的时间开发散单业务。积极拓展云仓服务能力，为客户提供退货、质检、2次上架等一站式解决方案。我们的云仓逆向处理服务可为客户节省40%的返工时间，显著提升了客户体验和客户粘性。最后是新市场。2025年上半年，我们在新市场的业务迎来重要转折，业务量达1.7亿件，同比增长22%，市场份额提升至6.2%。我们不仅实现了业务量的稳健增长，更在 EBITDA 层面首次转正。这一扭亏为盈的重大进展，主要得益于我们成功将中国的降本经验复制到新市场，包括自动化分拣设备的投入、路由规划的优化以及末单揽派效率的提升。自第二季度以来，随着新的电商客户进入拉美市场，以及我们与本地最大的电商平台展开合作，拉美地区的业务增速明显回升。我们相信，凭借极兔强大的本土网络运营能力，以及与全球电商平台的深度合作与信任，拉美市场有望在未来几个季度恢复高速增长，成为极兔全球增长的引擎。我们对新市场未来的增长空间充满信心。展望未来，我们将持续对网络进行投入，深化中国经验对海外业务的赋能，不断优化全链路运营效率与客户体验。我们坚信，只有坚持长期主义，做男人正确的事，才能在全球快递行业的激烈竞争中创造价值，回报每一位信任与支持极兔的投资者和合作伙伴。2025年是极兔成立10周年的里程碑时刻，我们将以此次中期业绩为新的起点，不忘初心，砥砺前行，继续超越自我，迎接属于极兔的更加广阔的未来。再次感谢各位的支持。接下来有请 CFO Dylan 为我们解读本次中期业绩的财务数据。再次谢谢大家。
Hello everyone, and welcome to GNT Express 2025 interim results presentation. On behalf of the company, I would like to extend our sincere gratitude for your long-standing attention and support. It's my great honor to present to you the operational and financial performance of the group for the first half of the year. Looking back at the past 6 months, the global economic environment remained complex and volatile. Persistent geopolitical conflicts, uncertainties in international trade policies, and evolving tariff regimes continue to pose challenges to economic development across various countries. Despite these numerous external variables, with clear strategic positioning, efficient operational execution, and continuous network enhancement, we achieved significant growth in both scale and profitability in Southeast Asia and the new markets, while also demonstrating resilience in navigating the intense competition in the Chinese market. In the first half of 2025, the group's parcel volume reached 13.99 billion parcels, representing a year-on-year increase of 27%. Revenue reached $5.5 billion, representing a year-on-year increase of 13%. And the adjusted net profit was $160 million, representing a year-on-year increase of 147%. Now, please allow me to provide an overview of the development of our operations in each region. Starting with the Southeast Asia market, in the first half of 2025, our parcel volume in Southeast Asia reached 3.23 billion parcels, representing a year-on-year increase of 58%. Our market share reached 32.8%, representing a year-on-year increase of 5.4 percentage points, securing our position as the industry leader for the sixth consecutive year and gradually widening the gap with competitors. Our robust growth was primarily driven by the continuous empowerment of Southeast Asia through cost reduction experience from China. Our cost per parcel in Southeast Asia decreased by 16.7% year-on-year, while service quality continued to improve. For instance, the average delivery time for parcels further decreased and is now under 2 days in Southeast Asia, with continued decline in lost parcel rate and damaged parcel rate. We share the benefits of our cost reduction with customers, maintaining a reasonable profit margin level. Such strategies further deepen our cooperation and mutual trust with customers, driving parcel volume growth and fully demonstrating the virtuous cycle brought by economics of scale and operational refinement. Looking ahead, we will focus on 2 core strategies. First, continuous cost reduction. As cost reduction methods in China continue to evolve, we will further them from China's automation and digital management experience to persistently drive down costs in Southeast Asia. Second, vigorous developing non-e-commerce platform customers, including small and medium-sized sellers on social media, branded customers, chain retailers, and individual customers. These customers offer higher profit margins and will further optimize our customer structure and enhance profitability. Next, the Chinese market. In the first half of 2025, our parcel volume in China reached 10.6 billion parcels, representing a year-on-year increase of 20%, with market share up by 0.1 percentage points year-on-year to 11.1%. Since the second quarter of the year, price competition in China express delivery industry has been exceptionally intense. With industry price continuing to decline, we dynamically adjust prices according to regional market competition to maintain relative stability in market share. In the first half of the year, our revenue per parcel decreased by approximately 0.3 RMB year-on-year, but our cost per parcel decreased by over 0.2 RMB year-on-year. Specifically, transportation and sorting costs per parcel decreased by approximately 0.13 RMB year-on-year, coupled with effective expense control, which reduced expense per parcel by 0.04 RMB year-on-year, partially offsetting the adverse impact of price declines. From an operational perspective, despite the challenging external environment, the Chinese market remained profitable, demonstrating strong operational resilience. While stabilizing our core business, we actively expand high-value individual parcels and reverse logistic parcel business. Currently, individual parcels and reverse logistic parcels average 4 million parcels per day, representing a year-on-year increase of 60%, accounting for 7% of total parcel volume. To promote the development of individual parcels and reverse logistic parcels business, we implement a series of measures. such as, first, encouraging network partners to establish service stations to enhance control over last-mile services and customer reach. Second, increasing the proportion of direct sorting and delivery by optimizing delivery routes, allowing carriers more time to develop individual customers. Actively expanding cloud warehouse service capabilities to provide customers with one-stop solutions, including returns, quality inspection, and redelivery. Our cloud warehouse reverse processing service can save customers over 40% of rework time, significantly enhancing customer experience and loyalty. Finally, the new markets. In the first half of 2025, our business in the new markets reached a significant turning point. Parcel volume reached 170 million parcels, representing a year-on-year increase of 22%, with an increase of market share of 6.2%. We not only reached steady growth in parcel volume, but also achieved positive EBITDA for the first time. Such a major turnaround was primarily attributable to our successful replication of China's cost reduction experience in the new markets, including investments in automated sorting equipment, optimization of routing planning, and improvements in terminal pickup and delivery efficiency. Since the second quarter, with new e-commerce customers entering in Latin American market and our cooperation with the largest local e-commerce platform, business growth in Latin America has noticeably rebounded. We believe that with J&T's strong local network operation capabilities, deep cooperation, and trust with local e-commerce platforms, the Latin American market is expected to resume rapid growth in the coming quarters, becoming an engine for J&T's global growth. We are confident about the future growth potential of the new markets. Looking ahead, we will continue to invest in our network, deepening the empowerment of overseas operations through China's experience, and continuously optimize end-to-end operational efficiency and customer experience. We firmly believe that only by adhering to long-term reason and doing the difficult yet right thing can we continue to create value in a fiercely competitive global express delivery industry and deliver returns to every investor and partner who trusts and supports J&T. The year 2025 marks the 10th anniversary of J&T's establishment, a significant milestone. Taking this interim performance as a new starting point and remaining true to our original aspiration, we will forge ahead and continue to surpass ourselves to embrace an even brighter future for J&T. Thank you again for the support. Next, I will hand over to our CFO, Dylan, to walk you through the financial details of this interim performance. Thank you all.
Thank you, Stephen. Thank you, Haibing. Hi, everyone. Thank you all of you for joining the call again today. I will take you through our financial highlights. Before I start, please note that unless specifically mentioned, all the figures are in US dollars and percentage changes are on a year-on-year basis. Detailed financials, including our financial performance metrics, unit economics, cash flow, and capital expenditures, are available on our IR website. Here, I will only focus on the key highlights. For J&T Global Express Group overall, we are pleased to report that our total revenue increased by 13.1% year-on-year from 4.9 billion in the first half of 2024 to 5.5 billion in the first half of 2025. Core express delivery revenue grew by 12.7% over the same period, from 4.7 billion to 5.3 billion. This performance was primarily driven by the parcel volume growth across the 13 countries in which we operate. We have captured opportunities presented by the globalization of e-commerce, with revenue from Southeast Asia and new markets now accounting for 43% of our total revenue. Gross profit reached 539 million in the first half, remaining stable compared to the prior year period. However, the gross profit margin declined from 11% to 9.8% due to the intensive competitive pressures in the China market. Our total adjusted EBIT for the group increased by 65.4% year-on-year from 118 million in the first half of 2024 to 196 million in the first half of 2025. Largely attributable to the strong profit contribution in Southeast Asia and our first break-even in new markets, which in combined more than offset the China market segment decline. Adjusted net profit also showed a significant improvement, reaching 156 million in the first half of 2025, which is a 147% increase from 63 million last year, first half. Next, I will present our segment results. In Southeast Asia, supported by the strong volume growth highlighted by Stephen, our revenue increased by 29.6% year-on-year, from 1.5 billion in the first half of 2024 to 2 billion in the first half of 2025. Gross profit reached 351 million in the first half, compared to 287 million in the same period last year. Adjusted EBIT amounted to 235 million, which is a year-on-year increase of 74% in the first half. As you can see, we have achieved a healthy and sustainable level of profitability in the region, with the adjusted EBIT margin improving from 8.9% in the first half of 2024 to 11.9% in the first half of 2025, thanks in part to the growing contribution of the non-e-commerce platform parcels. As an independent e-commerce enabler with flexible pricing, we continue to benefit from growth across the e-commerce platforms. All at the same time, we are actively expanding our customer base to include the non-e-commerce customers by leveraging our established network and quality services. Furthermore, we are continuously reducing costs by capitalizing on economy of scale and applying operational expertise from China to Southeast Asia. This approach enhances our unit of economics and allows us to pass on the cost savings to our customers, thereby strengthening our market position. Next, let's move to China. In China, the express delivery market experienced intense price competition during the period. Amidst this pressure, we continue to optimize our customer mix and implement more refined operational management. These initiatives helped partially to offset the top-line pressure and sustain our profit resilience. In the first half of 2025, revenue grew by 4.6% year-on-year to 3.1 billion compared to the first half of 2024. Revenue per parcel in China was 0.30, down from 0.34 in the same period last year, which is in line with the persistent industry-wide pricing pressures. In response to competition, we dynamically adjusted pricing across different regions to maintain our competitiveness, while also focusing on attracting higher quality customers. At the same time, we continue to work on our cost per parcel, which decreased from 0.32 in the first half of 2024 to 0.28 in the first half of 2025. This is driven by the improved operational efficiency, enhanced network stability, and ongoing capacity investments, as highlighted earlier by Stephen. Key initiatives included expanding our self-owned line haul fleet and increased automation in our sorting centers and our networks. Nevertheless, the extent of the cost reduction was insufficient to offset the price decline, which resulted in the year-on-year decrease in our EBIT per parcel. As a result, the adjusted EBIT was $13 million in the first half of 2025, a decrease of 78% from $60 million in the first half of 2024. Next, let's move to our new segments. For our new segments, our revenue increased by 24.3% year-on-year from $292 million in the first half of 2024 to $362 million in the first half of 2025, mainly driven by the growth in the parcel volume. We're happy to report that our first new markets achieved adjusted EBITDA break-even for the first time, indicating that the economy of scales are beginning to materialize. We further we expect further improvement in unit of economics going forward. Adjusted EBITDA reached 1.6 million in the first half of 2025 compared to a loss of 7.8 million in the first half of 2024, with margin improvement from -2.7% to 0.4% positive. To support this growth, we expanded our network capacity during the period by investing in automated sorting equipment. We added new outlets, and we also continue to increase our line haul fleet. Last but not least, let's talk about our cross-border business. We are now exclusively focused on just the B2B sector, primarily in the international freight forwarding. Although this is a modest and stable segment, we maintain this presence to stay engaged in the cross-border landscape. Consequently, revenue in the first half of 2025 was $29 million, down 43% year-on-year from $52 million in the first half of 2024. We delivered a positive adjusted EBIT of $2.5 million or 2025 despite this decrease, which is a significant improvement compared to the loss of $13 million last year as we refine our business. Finally, let me return to our consolidated numbers. As a result of the factors outlined above and the combination of what I said, our adjusted net profit reached $156 million in the first half of 2025, representing a 147.1% increase from $63 million in the first half of last year. Total net profit for the period was $89 million, which is up 186% from $31 million last year. Moving into the cash flow. I think we, as a group, have maintained strong cash flow numbers. We maintain a strong cash flow. The net in cash flow from our operating activities amounted to $421 million in the first half of 2025, which is an increase of 21.8%.
Please stand by. Your conference will resume shortly.
Can you hear us?
Hi, Sandra.
Please continue. We can hear you now.
Okay. As I was saying, after deducting capital expenditure, our free cash flow reached $192 million, which underscored our ability to maintain healthy cash generations amidst our rapid business expansion. As of 30th June 2025, we maintain strong cash balance with our total cash equivalents, and restricted cash and investments amounting to $1.7 billion. This concludes our prepared remarks. Operator. This concludes our prepared remarks.
Thank you. As a reminder, to ask a question, please press *11 on your telephone and wait for your name to be announced. To withdraw your question, please press *11 again. We will now take the first question from the line of Brian Gong from Citi. Please go ahead. Your line is open.
谢谢管理层接受我的提问。首先恭喜非常不错的盈利一季度，上半年，就是有两个问题啊。第一个就是国内这个反内卷政策也出来一阵，一些地方也开始提价了。 想问一下管理层能不能分享一下这波反内卷对我们国内利润后续的改善会有多大的帮助？另外一块就是海外我们单量增速非常快，尤其是东南亚。那也想问一下这个新兴市场这边，拉美这边TT Shop 也拓展了业务一阵，然后期末表现貌似也是比较好的。我们刚才也提到预计单量会上一个台阶，就是能不能请管理层对这边的未来订单增速和业务的发展能分享一下这个想法谢谢。I will translate myself. Thanks management for taking my question and congratulations on solid earnings. I have two questions. First one is after domestic policy, there has been price hike in few regions. Can management share your thoughts how the policy can help? How does the policy help our sequential improvement on earnings ahead? And our overseas parcel volume has performed quite decently, especially for Southeast Asia. For Latin America, actually, TikTok Shop has been there for a while, and Temu seems have performed quite well. So how does management think about parcel volume and financial performance ahead? Thank you.
谢谢 Brian 提的两个问题我是 Charles。Brian 提的第一个问题是反内卷政策对我们这个利润改善有多大帮助我们可以看到这几个月，无论是国家邮政局还是中国的其他的政府部门，都在积极的倡导反内卷的政策。那对于快递行业来说，我们也可以看到有一些省份，比如说广东浙江福建，陆续都出现不同程度的这个价格回升。据我们的了解，其他的一些省份也正在积极的协商过程当中。从长远来看，它会使这个快递行业的竞争更加理性，会利好于这个行业后续的这个高质量的发展。但是因为这个反内卷的政策的落地，它是一个逐步和持续的这样一个过程。我们也没有预见说这是今天已经是到了一个完成的这个阶段，所以呢，具体对公司的经营它会带来多大的这个数字上的表现，可能还有待于观察。但从我们的角度上来说，我们认为快递网络的所有组成单元的健康经营是这个网络稳定和可持续发展的基本条件的之一。所以呢，作为管理层来说，我们公司会持续的优化网络结构和能力提供更好的服务，这才是我们这个开展业务的一个根本。谢谢 Brian。
Okay, I will. Yep, this is Dylan. Thanks, Brian. I will translate for Charles. Thank you for your question. I think your first question is about the anti-involution and the pricing. I think Charles was saying that since July, I think the State Post Bureau has been actively promoting anti-involution policy. So currently we have observed varying degrees of price recovery in provinces such as Guangdong, Zhejiang, and Fujian. And we're also seeing other provinces actively engage in the price negotiations. So the industry competition has become more rational in his view, which is also conducive in high quality developments in the long run. However, I think he mentioned that this is likely going to be implemented in phases, and the exact impact of these changes on our results still need to be observed. As a company, we will continue to continuously upgrade our network structure and also improve our service quality. So Brian, this is Charles' answer to your first question.
好，Brian 的第二个问题是有关于拉美那边的业务量增速我们可以看到，在今年上半年，我们在新市场的这个包裹量同比增长22%，这是在基于与我们原有的客户加深合作的基础上，并且与 其他的一些电商平台，例如 TikTok、美克多的新的合作的开展来实现的。随着业务量的增长，我们也实现了新市场的经调整EBITDA 的转正，这个为我们接下来的这个业务发展也提供了一个非常坚实的基础。我们看到拉美市场目前还处于电商和快递的快速发展阶段，各大电商平台继续加大在拉美市场的投入。对于我们公司来说，我们还是会不断的坚持我们作为一个独立的第三方物流和快递服务商的这样的一个战略定位，希望通过提供高性价比的快递服务来更好的服务这个商家和消费者。自今年的第二季度以来，我们看到我们在拉美市场的这个业务量的这个增速是有了一个比较显著的提高。我们有信心，我们也有一个非常良好的期待拉美市场有望在未来的几个季度继续保持这样的一个高速增长，成为我们极兔全球网络增长的另外一个引擎。谢谢 Brian。
Okay. So Brian, I think the second question is about our growth prospect of our Latin American market. So Charles is saying that in the first half of 2025, we have achieved the parcel volume increase of 22% year on year in our new markets. This is based out of the deepening collaboration with some of our existing customers, but also as well as establishing new partnership with new key players such as TikTok and Mercado Libre. And I think we, as you heard, we have successfully achieved adjusted EBITDA break-even, which is going to lay a strong foundation for our future business development in the Latin American market. So he further commented that the Latin American market is also is developing and growing very quickly, with major platforms continue to increase their investments in the region. And J&T, we will maintain our strategic position as a third-party logistics provider, providing high-value express services to help all our clients to better serve merchants, consumers, and others. Since the second quarter, we have also observed a noticeable increase in our parcel volume growth in Latin America. We are very optimistic and confident that the region is able to grow further in the coming quarters, and it will serve as another key growth engine for J&T's global expansion. Yeah, Brian, so hope we answer your questions.
好的，谢谢。
Thank you. We will now take the next question from the line of Fan Tso from Bank of America. Please go ahead.
好的，谢谢管理层恭喜非常好的上半年的业绩我是美银证券的 Fan， 想问一下两条小问题，就是关于东南亚的。第一就是东南亚我们的非电商平台店的现在的发展的情况，第二就是我们东南亚的这个产能的问题，就是是否跟得上我们这个高速的这个建量的增长，然后需不需要额外的这个加强投入。Let me translate myself. I have two questions. First one, could you provide a latest update and outlook for the non-e-commerce platform businesses in the Southeast Asia? And second, I just wanted to check whether the operational capacity in Southeast Asia, whether it is sufficient to cope with the strong volume growth year to date, and whether we need to accelerate capex investment. Thank you.
Thank you, Fan, for asking. I think Dylan can take the question.
Okay. Hey, Fan. Hi. Yeah. So thanks for the two questions. The first question is about, I think you asked about the non-platform or non-e-commerce parcel volume in Southeast Asia. Short answer is we continue to actively develop this customers group, including social e-commerce and also key accounts. While the absolute contribution from these customers have increased, their growth rate lags behind those of the e-commerce parcel, because the e-commerce parcels are growing a lot faster, right? So as a result, I think our non-e-commerce business accounts for less than 10% right now in our Southeast Asia total parcel. Okay. However, from a profit contribution perspective, the non-e-commerce parcels have higher margins, and their contribution to the overall margins is steadily increasing. In fact, the profit contribution for this segment significantly exceeds the volume share. Yeah. So I think building on, I think we talk about this a lot of times. I think building on the strong non-e-commerce customers requires sustained effort over time. At J&T, we will continue to expand our non-e-commerce segment as a long-term and strategic focus for our business in Southeast Asia. Thanks. And then I think your second question is about, let me see. Oh, okay. The capacity in Southeast Asia, right? So, yeah, I think we have maintained very frequent, as you know, we plan our capacity by talking frequently with our, especially our e-commerce customers, because they make out a big chunk of our capacity. So we talk to them very frequently and about their needs and their product, their needs in the coming peak or the next certain time frame. So based on those communications, we will update our volume forecast and proactively carry out capacity upgrades in advance of time. During the peak of Ramadan in the first quarter this year, our daily volume exceeded 27 million parcels, right? And we didn't have any capacity-related issue. So as you can see from our disclosed quarterly operational data, I think we added one extra sorting centers in Southeast Asia precisely to expand our capacity expansion effort. I would say at this moment, our daily capacity in the region, we now comfortably can handle more than 30 million parcels a day, which fully positions us to handle the upcoming peak during the fourth quarter shopping seasons, especially in the second half, right? I think, but it's also just on as a side note, right? So I think our capacity in Southeast Asia is spread across multiple countries, and we don't evaluate the overall utilization based on a single aggregation metrics. But overall, I would say our capacity is at a very healthy level. And also, given the rapid expansion of our parcel volume, we will expect the demand of the capacity continue to build on our capacity gradually, quickly as well. Yeah. So we'll continue to upgrade and continue to expand our capacity to make sure that we can meet our customers' needs, right? Last but not least, I will just add capacity. One of the things that we have done, I think we talk about this a lot, is we continue to invest significantly in the automation equipment and our fleet to make sure that while we increase the capacity, another very important factor is the cost, the unit cost. So are we driving down our unit cost? Yeah. So we are very active on that, and so we'll continue to do this. Thanks. Yeah.
Got it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We will now take the next question from the line of Hu Junwen from Changjiang Securities. Please go ahead.
好的，集组的各位领导好，感谢给我这次提问的一个机会，也恭喜公司中报取得了不错的一个业绩。我是长江交运的胡俊文，我这边主要提问两个问题。第一块的话，国内方面的话，如何看待公司后续降本增效的一个空间？以及如何看待这一轮反内卷的弹性和政策上的一个持续性？第二个问题的话，主要请教国际方面，东南亚市场的一个增长预期和提份额的节奏，以及在新市场方面是否有新开的一个国家的一个计划？Let's translate myself. I have two main questions. The first one on the domestic front, what is potential for a cost reduction and efficiency improvement in the company? How to build the sustainable current anti-involution momentum and policy sustainability. The second, what are the growth expectations and the market share expansion plans in the Southeast Asia? Are there any plans to enter new countries in terms of market expansions?
Thank you for asking. I think Charles can take the two questions.
你好，俊文我是 Charles。你有两个问题啊，第一个问题是有关中国的业务的这个降本增效的空间。 相信大家都知道，我们2020年3月份开始开展中国的这个业务，以来5年多，我们整个团队都是持续的在对标我们行业当中优秀的同行们，期望是在中国的30年的这个快递行业发展的这个基础之上，学习行业优秀的经验，然后我们团队的这个执行力也是非常不错持续的快速进行这个运营的优化，所以也取得了一些降本增效的好的效果。今年上半年我们的这个单票运输和分拣成本大概在7毛钱人民币左右，同比下降了1毛3，与这个优秀同行的差距也在进一步的缩小。如果把它分拆出来看的话，我们中国的单票运输成本现在是4毛钱，比我们的优秀同行可能还有3分钱左右的差距。单票的分拣成本现在是3毛钱左右，与优秀的同行相比也有3、4分钱的这个差距。所以呢，我们可以看到我们还是有这个改善的空间和需要。当然随着时间的推移，我们也希望我们能够成为最优秀的同行，对吧？这个降本增效获得的这一个结果，主要的举措可能大家也都非常的知道通过运输单这个干线运输资源的优化装载率的提高，高运力车辆占比的提升等等。在分拣的时候，我们有全自动分拣设备的投入，人员的这一个专业能力的提升，来实现分拣成本的降低。但除了这2个我们传统的在操作环节和运输环节的提升之外，实际上在过去的这个时间里面，我们还有另外2个方面的关注。第一个是我们对所有加盟商以及是网点的规模以及是设备工具的投入，有了非常高的要求。我们的加盟商现在的操作的能力和质量与之前相比有了很大的进步。另外一个是在过去的这一段时间里面，我们对信息化、对数据化、对智能化的关注、投入以及是应用，也是起到了很大的这个作用。当然在这里我就不具体的去讲在哪一些领域有了哪一些进展，这是一个持续的这个关注我们期待在这方面的投入能够取得更大的这个回报。然后当然讲到反内卷的这个弹性，这个吧，这还是同一个问题。
最后一个
对，反内卷的弹性和持续性，就像那个刚才 City 的这个 Brian 提的那个问题一样就是因为它现在还是正在发生的过程当中。我们是看到了一些地区有了价格的回升，但是它对我们无论是这个公司本体还是加盟商，它的这个利润的弹性以及是延续性，我们还有待观察，好吗？俊文。请别人
Okay, let me try and see whether I capture everything. Okay. So I think Charles was saying that as everybody know, we entered the Chinese market in March 2020. Over the last 5 years, we have tried to benchmark ourselves against the industry leaders here, our peers who have been operating in this 30-year industry in China. I think we try to actively learn the best practices we can, and so that we can really drive down our costs. But I think as our team continue to execute with strength, we have optimized our network, and as a result, in the first half of 2025, our transport and sorting cost per parcel has decreased to 70 cents RMB, down by 13 cents RMB year on year, narrowing the gap with the leading peers. Also, he mentioned that our transportation costs per parcel is drive down to around 40 cents per parcel RMB, but still behind our top players by around 3 cents RMB. Sorting cost, on the other hand, per parcel, now we are around 30 cents RMB. We are also behind our peers by about 3 to 4 cents, right? So that's the cost side. And I think and he also mentioned that we have a very clear goals, and we obviously want to reduce this cost gap further. We continue to do benchmarking, and we continue to benchmark how we do our business and against to try to learn from the industry leaders here. There are about 4 fronts that I think that we will drive the 4 directions. One is on the transport front. So the transportation front, we continue to expand our fleet size. We will better coordinate how to balance our own fleet, as well as the third-party resource, and also increase the loading rates, and also try to use the higher proportion of high-capacity vehicles to improve our logistic efficiencies. So that's the first front. Secondly, I think you talk about the sorting. I think the sorting, so we continue to deploy more automated equipment. We will continue to train our operators better through trainings and other measures. And so that's the second one. And the third one is the network. So the network is also very important. So as we continue to optimize the scale and density of our network, we will continue to drive up the investment in the automated equipment at our network, right? Because at this scale, we need to continue to improve on that. With that, he commented that the network partners operating service qualities as well as the consistency has improved significantly over time, right? Last but not least, he mentioned that we will continue to invest in digitalization and the smart automations. That's particularly in our industry. We continue to adopt these new technologies to continue to drive down the cost. So we will continue to do all these things across the different parts of our value chain to make sure that we can drive down the cost. So I think his final remark, I thought he's finished, but he's talking about the anti-involution. So I think, yeah, we did observe some of the price recovery in some regions, but we think that, but he thinks that more time is needed before we can really see how sustainable and how big the margin recovery can be. Yeah, because it also depends on how this policy will be implemented across the geographies. Yeah, so that's hopefully I covered the first question. Yeah.
金文的第二个问题是关于那个国际方面的，分成2个部分，一个是东南亚市场增长的预期，然后第二个是否有新开国家的这个计划。东南亚的这个我们的包裹量的增长、市场份额的提升，以及是我们的盈利，上半年我们在这个中报里面都能够看到，基于这个第三方的行业的一些研究，还是会预测2025年到2029年东南亚区域的电商的年复合增长率还是会预期到15%到20%的这样的一个数值。这说明呢，东南亚区域里面电商和快递行业依然有望有这个高速的增长。对于我们来说呢，我们肯定还是要继续不断的这个将在中国市场上面掌握和积累的一些经验和方法论，能够在东南亚加以应用，然后不断的这个提升服务质量和降低成本，来扩大这个市场份额，来巩固我们的这个领先的这个市场地位。对于这个 G2， 我们整个公司刚才 Steven 提到2025年我们是10周年的这样的一个发展的里程碑。我们一直对自己提这样的要求，就是我们还是一个创业公司，我们还是要对其他的一些市场会积极的去研究和评估，通过这个研究看哪一些新的市场是具备合适进入的，我们会选择合适的时机、合适的方式来进入。所以如果有这方面的消息的话，我们也希望能够尽早的跟大家分享，好吧？谢谢君文。
Okay. So the second question is about the growth rates of Southeast Asia and also whether we have plans to open a new market. So Charles was commenting that so I think according to the industry reports, I think we also published that the e-commerce market in Southeast Asia is expected to grow very quickly at a maybe CAGR of 10-15% between 2025 to 2029. So it indicates that the e-commerce and delivery sectors in this region will continue to enjoy the high growth, right? So I think as we continue to adopt or replicate our experience from China into the region, we hope that we can continue to increase further our market share. We can continue to increase our quality, reduce our costs, and continue to enhance our market leadership in the region, right? And he also secondly he mentioned that Steven said he echoed what Steven said earlier, that this is a 10-year very significant year for JNT.
Please stand by. Please stand by. Your conference will resume shortly.
Hi.
Can you hear us?
Yes, we can hear you now. Thank you. Please continue.
Apologies, guys. So yeah, just final thing about so as we crosses the 10-year mark, so Charles was commenting that we continue to evaluate potential markets across the globe for feasibilities, for suitable timing, etc. So I think as soon as we have something concrete, we will announce it to all of you. Yeah. Hopefully that answers your question. The second question, Jingwei. Can you guys hear us?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. We answer the second question.
Can we go to the next question?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, we can take. Yeah.
We will now take the next question from the line of Gangshan Liu from CICC. Please go ahead.
好的，谢谢管理层接受我的提问，我是中金公司的分析师刘刚乾。我这边的话有两个问题，第一个话想问一下东南亚这边的 UE 的一个指引在成本方面，包括我们因为我们在扣份额的这个过程当中嘛，那对于件量和单价之间的平衡，我们怎么去掌握一些这个原则？比如说有没有一些指标是我们最看重的，比如说单标的利润啊，或者说毛利率啊，这样的话可以帮助我们这个从预测和 modeling 的这个角度这是第一个问题。第二个问题的话，想问一下我们海外也在尝试性的推这个加盟模式嘛，那目前的一个落地的情况和效果怎么样？如果未来的话有没有这个进一步的这个预期？So let me translate for myself. Thank you for taking my question. And congratulates on the strong growth. I have two questions. The first one is about Southeast Asia on the unit economics guidance about unit costs. And for the unit for the ASP, is there any principle or baseline for us to balance our parcel volume growth and the drop in our ASP? For example, are we anchoring on any kind of metrics, for example, margins or unit profit? So this will help us on the modeling and the forecast. And the second question is about the franchise model adoption in Southeast Asia. Can you share with us the current status and, if possible, any future expectations? Thank you.
Thank you, Gangshan, for asking. I think Dylan can take the two questions from you.
Okay. Hey, Gangshan. I'll answer these two questions. Okay, I think the first question is on the UE, right? Southeast Asia UE. I think, as you know, we continue to for the last few years, our EBIT per parcel has been very stable. I think we try to balance to balance our growth alongside our ASP strategy, along with our cost reduction strategy, right? So as you know, we are continue to be the leading player in the region, and in fact, we continue to expand our market share, and we get cost advantage from this scale increase. And meanwhile, we continue to share this cost benefit with our anchor e-commerce platform customers, so that we can continue to stay very efficient to build out the most efficient network that we can in Southeast Asia, right? On the cost front, I think our unit cost stands around $0.50. We think that there's still a big room that we can further reduce, right? For example, I think, as you can see, our parcel volume has increased 58% year-on-year, and we can greatly increase the utilization efficiencies of all our sorting centers, vehicles, and outlets, and drive down our costs, right? So as we continue to adopt those various cost strategies, I think we talked about this many times. We have continued to expand our own fleet. We continue to put in automated sorting equipment. We continue to optimize our network. We can continue to drive down those costs. And we think that there's still a lot of room for cost reduction. And all these efforts will help us to maintain a relatively stable per parcel profit going forward. That's our thinking. I think your second question is about, you call it the franchise, right? Or we call it the network partner, but I think it's the same thing, right? So you're asking how the network partners are implementing in the other across the non-China markets. So I think there's twofold, right? I think so we are actually, the short answer to answer your question is that we are actually implementing this network partners model across Southeast Asia and even our new markets, right? But we will be very careful with that. We will adapt it very carefully to the local depending on the local situations, and also see how, and based on our local insights. So I think the most important thing that we think is selecting and developing the very high potential and good quality network partners to join our network, right? So maybe just give you a sense. I think currently, the network partners across Southeast Asia, we have about 30% of our network that is run by our network partners, 30%. And Mexico and Brazil, we are also steadily replicating this model into Latin America, Mexico and Brazil, right? So for us, from our perspective, it's very important that the network partners continue to demonstrate the ability to improve the efficiencies and reduce costs alongside with us. Because once we adopt the network partners model, it's not just our costs at our centers, our line haul. We also need them to manage the costs at the delivery end as well, right? So that's one area we look at them. Second thing, we also look at whether they can do business development, because the beauty of these network partners is they are able to bring in new business, because they're highly incentivized to work like us, to think like us as entrepreneurial company. So we look at how they bring in new customers, how they bring in growth into our network, right? Yeah, I think overall, we believe that this is one of the network partner strategy. I think we're only 30% there in Southeast Asia. And I think we will continue to use this to adopt it across our network to continue to lower our costs, for your first question earlier on. Okay, Gang Qian.
That's very helpful. Thank you, Dylan. Again,
okay.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. We will now take the last question from the line of Aaron Luo from UBS. Please go ahead.
管理层好，谢谢接受我的提问。首先也恭喜公司上半年的业绩啊。我这边2个问题啊，第一个就是看报道，包括你们刚才也有提到，就是说我们已经开始在新市场给那个美克多提供这个配送服务了，所以还想请你们就是再介绍一下，就是你们双方这个合作的背景啊，包括这个目前的一些这个进展。那第2个问题是关于这个智慧物流的，就是想了解一下，就是你们在这个智慧物流，尤其 AI 啊，包括这个无人车方面有哪些主要的部署，包括这个无人车现在的应用 咱们到了哪个阶段，包括未来有什么规划我就这2个问题。So let me translate myself. First of all, congrats for the strong H1 result. And I have 2 questions. The first one is about the recent cooperation with Mercado Libre. I mean, now from the recent news, and you also just mentioned earlier. So just could you please share a bit more of the background and the current progress on this? This is the first question. The second one is about AI technologies. We know that the market has a lot of hope that the development AI, including the unmanned vehicle, that could bring bigger improvement on logistics network efficiency. So just curious about what kind of initiatives you have taken and your future plans for further embracing AI technologies and also the unmanned vehicles. Thank you so much.
谢谢 Aaron 你的提问我这个2个问题我觉得 Steven 来回答比较好。Thank you Aaron for asking. I think Steven will take your questions.
OK， 谢谢 Aaron。这个是第一个问题是关于美克多的。对，我们现在在不管是那个巴西还是墨西哥，跟美克多都开始有合作。对，美克多呢是拉美的最大的电商平台，它的客单价也比较高。但是它目前主要是靠那个自建物流的模式在运营。但是这2年呢，就是说拉美市场有很多平台开始进去投入嘛。美克多呢，它也降低了它的报邮门槛，就切入一些中低客单价的电商市场。对这一部分呢，它对于像低成本的第三方物流的需求有增加。对。我们呢，因为在中国和东南亚有比用这方面，尤其电商快递运营的经验嘛，成本管理方面可以提供比较高性价比的服务，所以我们有这个机会给美克多达成合作。我们随着规模和提升和运营效率的优化，我们有信心能持续降低在整个拉丁美洲的成本，提升服务质量。对。提升我们的竞争力。现在我们给美克多的那个合作的单量还比较小，在美克多的业务量里面占比呢还是比较低的。但是我们目前的合作还是比较顺利的，就是未来的空间还是比较大的。对，目前是这块是这个情况。对，谢谢 Aaron。先把这个讲了。
Yeah, I think Aaron, so I'll translate for Steven, right? So he's saying that the Mercado Libre, as you know, the Mercado is the largest e-commerce platform in Latin America. The average order value is higher, and they also have relied historically on their own in-house logistics systems. But in recent years, as the e-commerce competition intensifies across the region, Mercado has lowered the free shipping costs to capture the lower tier market segments. This shift has increased the demand for the cost-effective 3PL services like the one that we provide, right? So as you know, we continue to operate with Chinese excellence, replicating also into this, and we have good success in replicating to Southeast Asia. So we continue to take all these abilities that we have and continue to replicate that into Latin America by offering them high-value express delivery solutions, right? So as we continue to benefit from the economy of scale and also optimize our network, we will continue to further our costs as well. We have room to further reduce our costs as well, while we continue to enhance quality and also our competitiveness, right? Right now, so Steven commented that the Mercado Libre's volume is still relatively very small, and it's also a very small share of their total business. But the collaboration has progressed so smoothly, and we see a significant potential, and we look forward for further expand this relationship with them. Aaron, yeah.
第二个问题是关于这个智慧物流的，以及无人车的。对，我们那个智慧物流是主要包括在中国积极投入的是行业先进的设备，在东南亚和新市场呢落地中国成熟的技术设备这2个方面。在中国呢，我们公司是23年开始试点无人车，部分网点 已经有成功的这个经验和降本逻辑，对全网和其他加盟商有很强的带动作用。但是需要加盟商自发采购公司呢持续出台鼓励和支持政策。截至目前已投入了无人车900多台。对，无人车的应用对于末端派件效率的提升非常有效果。我们会持续加大无人车的这个支持力度，结合加盟商的需求，有序推动无人车的那个进展。在东南亚和新市场呢，我们是将中国成熟的设备系统做本地化的部署。截至25年6月底，东南亚已经投入自动化分拣设备57套，新市场已经投入自动化设备10套，有效提升了我们转运中心的分拣效率。对，我们看到更多的无人化自动化设备在东南亚和新市场的应用前景。对，我们也将积极探索吧，保持技术和成本的领先优势。对，谢谢。
Okay. So for the second question about smart logistics, so I think Stephen mentioned that. So I think we continue to focus on adopt these advanced technologies that we can get from China into the different markets, the Southeast Asia markets and new markets, but of course in varying degrees, right? So first, but let's talk about China first. So I think he first started off talking about China. He said that we started piloting the autonomous delivery vehicles, I think back in 2023, and some of these network partners have received a very significant cost savings benefit from this, but the way we work is the network partners are responsible for procuring those vehicles independently, and we will continue to provide encouraging support policies to help them to do so. So to date, I think we have deployed over 900 autonomous delivery vehicles, and this has greatly enhanced the last mile delivery network efficiency in our network, right? And going forward, we also further support our network partners to continue to adopt and promote more usage of this according to their operational needs. Then he commented about Southeast Asia and new markets, but that's probably not on the autonomous front. I think he mentioned about equipment. We will try to localize the proven auto sorters and the equipment and operating system from China into Southeast Asia and new markets. At the end of June, we have deployed 57 automated sorting equipments in Southeast Asia. We have deployed 10 in the new markets and substantially improved their efficiencies in these markets, these places. We continue to see strong potential to use different technologies into different regions. We'll continue to stay robust and also open in applying all these innovative application and technologies so that we can continue to maintain our technology leadership and our cost leadership and our market leadership. Right. Again, I got everything. Yeah. Yeah. That's right.
谢谢 Steven， 谢谢 Dylan 总，非常清楚。
好，谢谢。Okay.
Thank you. This concludes today's conference call. Thank you for participating. You may now disconnect.